it's Judy Klock at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel to check out my latest video. I hope that you like what I have in store for you. Ready? Let's go. Hey Stampers, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Sorry for that, I'm just trying to make sure the camera's straight. I hope everybody's having a great week. It's just about 7:30. I'm going to give everyone just another couple of minutes to hop on and find us. But while we're waiting, I wanted to remind everyone that registration for my March class to go featuring the adorable zany zebras and our lovely watercolor pencils and blender pens. Registration is now open. So when you register for my class, you'll get everything you see here. Well, you'll get everything to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs. This class will include a package of our watercolor pencils, a blending pen, and some other goodies that I usually throw in there, plus the instructions and a fun Zoom class so we can all create together. So I hope that you'll sign up for it. You can find the information on my events page, my Stamping with Crafty Klock, under events. So I'd like to welcome everybody here today, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I am still playing with the sweet ice cream bundle. I love this bundle. So we're going to do 2 fun cards tonight. One, we're going to stamp our own background and just make a little thank you card, because when you have all those birthdays and coming up, you need to have a couple little thank you notes ready to go. And then we're going to do something different. We're going to use our designer series paper to make a really fun birthday card. That's going to be really quick and easy to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with our basic white card first. So I have here a basic white cardstock. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and use it in our landscape orientation. And if you are here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, a heart, a hello, something to let me know you're here, and I will enter you in to win these cards. You know, over the weekend I usually do my drawing. So anyway, go ahead, let me know you're here and you're watching, and I will go ahead and put you in for the drawing. So I'm starting here with just a piece of basic white, and I'm going to take the sprinkle stamp from the Sweet Ice Cream set, and I am going to stamp it on in a variety of colors. Hey Cheryl, how are you today? So I'm going to start out with just some, this is Bumblebee, and these are all colors that coordinate with the DSP. Some will be stamped on, some will be stamped off. I'm just gonna, put as many as I want there. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw on some Petal Pink. The only problem with this is you gotta clean your stamp in between each color, but that's okay. How's your day going, Cheryl? I hope it's going well. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and throw on some Bermuda Bay. I'm just gonna turn this around a little bit so we can get some different ways for the sprinkles to go. And then I'm gonna go fill in again with some Old Olive. And again, these are all colors that are found in our designer series paper. So all of these colors will work well with what we're gonna do. And then last but not least, I'm gonna come in with some Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so we're going, just making sure I didn't get it on my thumb. I have a terrible habit of getting this on my thumb and then it gets all over everything that I'm trying to ink up. Okay, maybe just one more up here in the corner. Okay, so when you think you have enough of that little sprinkle background stamp, we're ready to move on. So now I have a piece of Bermuda Bay that is 4 1/4 by 2 1/4, and we're going to layer over that a strip of the Sweet Ice Cream Designer Series paper. This is 2 inches by 4 1/4. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere those to one another. Just put some Stampin' Seal Plus on here. So I'm so excited for spring. I can't wait for some warm weather, lots of sunshine. I'm definitely over the cold, rainy, snowy, icy winter. Okay. Hey, Debbie, how are you? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to layer this on. Oh, before we do that, I do want to add, I have some of our bumblebee ribbon. I thought I had some of our bumblebee ribbon cut. And I'm just going to, again, we're just going to wrap this around our 2 layers. Okay. This might be a little bit longer. You probably really only need about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches tops. And I might have cut this a little too long. I'm just going to trim off the excess. Okay, now I'm ready to put this onto my card base. And this is the stamp set I am featuring in my Retreat in a Box. That's coming up on April 3rd. Again, registration is open. You're going to get $40 worth of Stampin' Up! Supplies in your Retreat to go, as well as lots of table gifts or pillow gifts as we call them. We'll make 5 projects. There will be 5 challenges throughout the day. There will be door prizes, and we have a grand prize drawing at the very end at our Zoom PJ party. I'll be giving away a small stamp cut and emboss machine, a mini stamp cut and emboss machine. So I hope that you will sign up. Okay, so now we have that done. So now I have a bunch of labels here. I have one in Whisper White or Basic White, So Saffron, and Bermuda Bay. I'm going to put these 2 aside for right now. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to stamp that thank you on our Basic White in Bermuda Bay. Okay. So this is just about the right size for our label. So just be careful when you place it on there. And again, these are photopolymer stamps, so I like to use my Stampin' Pierce mat when I'm working with the photopolymers. Now I have these other 2 here, and I'm just going to cut these 2 in half. It doesn't matter, they don't have to be exact, because we are going to use these to layer behind our white label. So I'm going to layer on the yellow, the So Saffron first. And again, you can have as much or as little of that yellow peeking through as you want. And again, I just try to eyeball it and make sure it's even. I hope you can all see this. I hope I'm keeping it on camera. So now we've got that. Now I went ahead and I'm going to put the blue on there. And I just thought that that gave it made the label just a little bit more interesting, I thought. So again, I'm just going to make sure that it's even. And these, I mean, this is really easy to do. Okay, so now we've got that label. I think that just kind of makes it really pop a little bit more than if it was just the one color or just the white. Hey, Natalie, thanks for joining in. So now I'm going to layer up a whole bunch of dimensionals. I do want to put some right where those other 2 meet to make sure that I'm holding those in place. Thanks, Deb. Okay. And here we have our first card done. And I really kind of like the way those extra 2 little colors on that label really just give it a little bit more definition and make it really just stand out from the base of the card. That's it, real simple, very little stamping, a lot of just, assembly with our cardstock and our designer series paper. Okay, our next one, we're going to take a piece of our designer series paper. This is 12 inches by 5.5 inches. I have scored it at 3.5 and at 7 3/4. This will make it so that when it folds, it is still 5.5 by 4 1/4. So it will fit in to your regular sized envelope. So now we're not going to do a whole lot here. So I took our Tasteful label dies and I cut out one with Pool Party and just one with Basic White. And I am going to use my Stamparatus for this. And the reason I'm using my Stamparatus is because we are going to do some masking, and we are going to use, do it this way, our Sweet Ice Cream Punch. Not our Sweet Ice Cream Punch, our Sweet Ice Cream set. So I'm going to put this down here. I'm trying to make sure it's straight. Okay, now I want to come in and I want to mask off. So I've already punched my little mask. This is on just like a sticky note with a sticky part at top, and I'm just going to put that down there. There's my sweet ice cream. Okay, and I can put that anywhere I want. It looks like it's a little crooked. I kind of want it to be a little bit straighter. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my ice cream cone and I'm going to layer it there. Okay, I'm going to pick it up. Yikes, it keeps moving on me. Okay, now we've got that. Now I'm going to ink this up with some soft suede. And I'm actually going to stamp off at first because I don't want the soft suede to be very dark. So I'm actually going to use second generation stamping for this. So I'm going to take another sticky note. I always love to have my sticky notes handy. I'm just going to put it there. It's not going to matter. I'm going to stamp it off. Okay. I'm going to lift it up. All right. Now I'm going to stamp it again. Now that's going to give me the color, I hope, that I'm looking for. Okay, so now we have that done. Now I'm going to come back in here with the crosshatch for the ice cream cone. And again, I'm going to position it where I want it. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to pick it up, and that we are going to ink up in some early espresso. I'm telling you, I keep wanting to say espresso, but it's espresso. Just one of those things, I can't get it through my head. All right, we're done. Now, the reason I did that was because I want to come back in here with my ice cream cone, and I'm going to try very carefully to match up those ridges. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to pick it up. Come on. Now this I'm going to ink up in our pool party. Again, these colors are all coordinating colors with our designer series paper. I don't know why I'm so tired today. Good thing tomorrow's Friday. Okay, now that came out, I would say, pretty darn good. So we're done with that. We're going to go ahead and take this out. Move that out of our way for right now. And again, I do want to add some sprinkles because I love me some sprinkles. So I'm going to add some sprinkles in some Bermuda Bay and some Blackberry Bliss. So just bear with me while I open these up. We're going to stamp in some Bermuda Bay, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to stamp in some Blackberry Bliss. Okay, we got our sprinkles on there. And then we're going to come back in here with, again, our Blackberry Bliss. Sorry, I closed up the wrong one. Let me just close up this one. And I'm going to come in with Treat Yourself, which I thought I had out, but I don't. So let me just put that on a stamp block real quick. And I'm going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss. And I'm just going to stamp it right down there. Treat yourself. Okay, let's finish up our stamping. So on the inside, we're going to put a piece of pool party that is 5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to layer that with one that is a basic white that is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And that's just going to allow a little bit more of that gorgeous designer series paper to show through. So I have here this gorgeous happy birthday. I love this happy birthday font. Okay, I'm going to try to make sure it's straight. I'm going to come through with that. Okay. And then I'm going to come back in with our pool party. And again, we have like this little scatter dot stamp. And I'm just going to stamp that just right over the happy birthday. I don't know why I like that. I just do. It just makes me happy. Okay. Now we're ready to go put our card together. We have all our stamping done. I hope I have managed to keep my fingers relatively clean. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll start out by putting this basic white over our pool party for the inside. Okay, woo! The wind is really kicking up over here. It sounds like everything is blowing greatly. Okay, that looks pretty straight. Now we're ready to go ahead and put that right in here. So again, this is good. Again, it's going together fairly quickly. There's not a lot of stamping involved or intricate stamping, other than I guess the ice cream cone was, because there was a couple of steps involved. But we did get to play with our Stamparatus on that, and that's always fun. All right, now we're going to layer our white layer right over this pool party, just like that. I don't know why this is giving me a hard time tonight, but it just is. I've just had one of those most frustrating days in my studio. I spent literally 45 minutes looking for this piece. I couldn't find it. I thought it was lost. It's on the bottom of another stamp case that I had put away. I was driving myself crazy. But, you know, it happens, right? Okay, so we're going to put on a couple of dimensionals. Maybe like 4, one in each corner. Okay. And we're going to just put that, I'm going to put it a little bit more to the left of center because I want it a little bit closer to this edge, because I'm going to come back in. This is a piece of that Blackberry Bliss sheer ribbon that's part of the suite. And I'm just going to very carefully tie a bow. Now, the reason I'm being careful is because, you know, designer series paper is a little bit lighter weight than cardstock, and I don't want to rip it. So I'm going to pull out my reverse tweezers, just like that. And we're going to have that hold it. And then I'm going to tie my bow. And hopefully I have cut enough ribbon that it's not going to be too short. Okay, I actually measured today, so I tried to be pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, if you want, you can use like a glue dot to kind of hold that ribbon in place. I'm okay. I'm just going to kind of let it flop around. I am just going to trim up my ends just a little bit. Just kind of cut them on a little bit of an angle. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to come back in with my Wink of Stella, because who doesn't like glitter? And I'm just going to glitter up the top of that ice cream cone. Isn't that pretty? I love me some glitter. Okay. Now, I was going to put the sprinkles on it that came with the suite, but I'll be darned if I can find them in this mess that I call my studio. So if I was, I would put like one there to cover up that little blotch. And I might do that again later before I, you know, finish it up when I can actually find them. I don't know where they went to. But that's it for me tonight, guys. I hope you enjoy this. And again, I hope you'll think about registering for my Spring Fling virtual retreat in a box featuring the fun sweet ice cream bundle. Happy stamping, everyone. See you next week. Bye.